Hey everybody, I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Tuesday. Hope you're all fantastic and amazing. We are live a little later today. I needed to wash my hair. Interesting little aside for those of you that care. Most of you probably won't. I used to wash my hair every single day, and I've kind of noticed that the longer I leave it without washing it, the easier it is to actually manage. But it got just to the point this morning where I'm like, sorry guys, I actually need to wash it because it felt awful. So there you go. That is the literal reason why we are late. So I wanted to chat with you today a little bit about the things. Hey Myrna, hey Catherine. A little bit about the things, the stories we tell ourselves, and the more you can become aware of these and these, the sooner you can actually start to put yourself out there, become visible, market yourself, talk to your audience, build your audience, make more sales, get more clients, have a bigger impact, grow your following, on all of that kind of stuff. Oh, that cushion's irritating me. So let's list off the 1,000,001 reasons that you might not be putting yourself out there right now. It could be my hair's not washed. It could be I haven't done my nails. I need to get my makeup done. It's Wednesday. Everybody's at work and nobody listens on a Wednesday. I don't want to do things late at night. I don't know how to work social media. I don't have many people following my page. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't have the budget. I don't have the time. I'm too scared. What if people see me? What are my friends going to say? What are my followers going to say? What if I get on the live and I run out of words? What if I start typing stuff out and I have a zit? Yes, Catherine. What if I start typing stuff out and the stuff that I type out doesn't make any sense? What if I get haters? What if people don't like it? What if people don't like me? What if all my clothes are crappy? I feel shit in what I'm wearing. I don't have all of the experience and the practice. I don't know enough yet. I need to go and do another course. I need to go and get another qualification. The moon's in Venus. I don't know. Mercury's in retrograde. My phone's on its way out. I don't have speakers on my phone. What if no one shows up? What if lots of people show up? What if I'm not hydrated? What if right? 1,000,001 reasons, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. What I would challenge you to consider is that all of those reasons are just a big fat bunch of bullshit that you're telling yourself in order to keep yourself safe, like a false sense of safety, right? In order to keep yourself secure, in order to keep, somewhat secure or insecure, right? Because many of us have been addicted or are addicted to being the victim of our circumstances, right? Now, you don't need to have someone else in your world or in your life being a persecutor, right, or attacking you in order for you to feel victimized. We're pretty good. I know I've been really freaking amazing at doing this to myself over the years. Hey, Georgina, happy Tuesday. But really, once we become aware of the crap that we're feeding ourselves, we start to really see it for what it is. And it's a whole bunch of stuff that we've made up in order to kind of self-protect. So if you think about our bodies, when faced with danger, we go into fight or flight. So adrenaline spikes, cortisol strikes, anxiety usually kicks in a little bit later, or the thought of anxiety kicks in, and it's just like, oh my God, I just can't possibly do it. I just can't possibly do it. And really, at the end of the day, what's the payoff to that? To me, like, what's the what's the benefit of that? Because there's always a benefit to everything that you're doing, right? You might not like the benefit, and it might not make logical sense. And if you think about it, if you're not putting yourself out there and you're like, okay, like I've got all of these reasons, the payoff for that is that you've got a really great excuse that you can rely on for not actually being successful, for not making the money that you want, for not reaching the people that you want, for not getting your work out there, for not working with the number of people that you want to be able to work with. You say, oh yeah, it's all well and good for Nicola. There's, she's got thousands of people who follow her. She's got her email list. She's been doing this for so long. Yeah, so what? It doesn't mean jack shit. It doesn't mean anything. You could conversely look at someone, whether you've got 50 followers or, 50 million followers. If you're not showing up and if you're not getting yourself out there, then you're not going to have the impact that you want to create the kind of business success, money, lifestyle, and all of that kind of thing. So the big message that I really wanted to challenge you with today is, why are you giving yourself permission to continue to play it safe, and what are you getting as a result of that? So it could be that, oh, you know what, I knew it wasn't going to work. So you prove yourself right. It could be, well, you know what, no one's going to listen anyway, so I'm just not even going to do it. So again, it's kind of like, yep, you've got that validation because, you're not really going all in. Now, the truth of the matter is this: there is never the right time. You are never going to be making the right amount of money or have the right amount of followers or have written enough books or not written a book or have the right number of qualifications, or have enough qualifications or, have the right time. It's all just a set of beliefs, excuses, reasons, whatever that you've made up in your head that's actually stopping you from doing it. You don't need anything these days except a phone. You don't even need a laptop to be able to have impact, to be able to market yourself, to be able to be visible. All you need is a freaking phone. You don't even need to own a computer, right? You don't even need to own a computer. Yes, it will make your life easier, and yes, there's other things that you can do on the machine that you can't do on a phone. But at the end of the day, if you've got a phone, you've got a mouth, you've got fingers, you can do it. And even if you didn't have fingers, you would find a way, because you can use the dictation thing, and you've probably got something that you can put in your mouth to press the microphone thing, not being disrespectful to people that don't have fingers, but they find a way to do things, right? So stop it. Just stop it. Just start. You've just got to start. You've got to start sharing your voice, your thoughts, your thinking, your methodologies, your experience, your knowledge. You've got to start doing it, because if you don't do it for you, nobody else can do it for you. I can't do it for you. I can't say, yeah, sure, give me your content. Let me go and talk about it. Like, it doesn't work like that. You have got to do it. You have got to get out of your own way. But first and foremost, and I would very, very strongly encourage you do this, grab out your journal and list all of the reasons why being invisible is better than being visible. How is being invisible keeping you safe? Now, you could still be putting yourself out there, right? And not really be being visible. What I mean by that, and this kind of touches on what we were talking about yesterday around authenticity, if you're kind of half-assed showing up, if you're half-assed sharing your message, if you are half-assing anything, then it's going to land flat. You guys know this. You know this. You've seen it happen all the time. Like, if you go to the gym and you're like, yeah, I'm going to go do this, and like you just kind of, you don't even load up your weights. You pick up the 2 kilo thing when you know that you can go 10 kilos. You buy into your bullshit around, oh, I'm too tired. I've got bags under my eyes. I've got a cold sore. Not caffeinated enough. I'm not really feeling very motivated today. Then guys, you're not going to freaking make it. I'm sorry. I'm actually not. But you're not going to make it. It's going to require you, the success that you want, your dreams you want, the relationships that you want, require you to be all in. And if you are not all in, the universe, the world, the energy, the whatever, the people, everyone, the audience, people can smell that a freaking mile away, and they will just vote with their fingers. But like, they're not going to turn the dial down, because we don't really do that anymore, do we? I was like, turning a radio dial down. We don't do that. We press the button or we click the thing on the steering wheel. They'll just like flick past you. They just switch the channel. So if you look at the people in the world, the great examples who have kind of gone all in, you've got people like Lady Gaga. I didn't know this. I read a quote that I saw someone share, I think last week or the week before, that said she actually never believed that she was good enough. I'm like, fuck, really? Wow. I know that she's had a lot of stuff and she's a really massive advocate for, for all of the things. But I didn't realize that was actually, that was true for her. And yet she got out there and she did it anyway. And she said, like, now I know I am good enough. So we don't need to wait for that external validation to happen from having, I'm not sure if it was a Golden Globe or an Oscar. I'm a little bit ignorant to that. But she won awards. Their music is great. She's, won Grammys. She's a freaking rock star, man. Don't wait until you've got the external validation to go, you know what, I actually am good enough, and bang, now I'm going to start doing it. Take her example and just start doing it. Now, I'm not talking about fake it till you make it, right? Because I also don't necessarily believe in that. And my thinking around that has changed a little over the years. I think we need to tap into the thing that is real for us, and then that's not faking it till you make it. It's like, what is real in this moment and how can I share that? What is the real me that I can share right now? Now, that requires you sometimes, not all the time, and it does depend on what you're doing, that you might need to actually get a little bit vulnerable. And if you've read the blog that I posted yesterday around, how I hate vulnerability, but I also love it. And it's how it's the antithesis for, I think that's the way that you say that word. It's like the kryptonite for shame, right? So if we can air all this stuff out, then that's the kryptonite. So if you're able to share the real you, the stuff that you believe, without worrying about what anything is that's going to come back, it helps to propel you forward. And really, at the end of the day, everything that we think that is going to come out, that's going to come back to us kind of does. So an example of this, I remember in 2013, I was on a retreat, a business retreat. It was 10 days, so it was like freaking epic. I made $118,000 in sales that week, and I got a tattoo on my wrist to remind me that the impossible, or that the seemingly impossible, can happen and everything can change just really quickly if you kind of go all in, do the work, you trust, and you're just kind of like, what's the fucking worst that can happen? Seriously. That week though, I had a whole bunch of stuff come up. I actually had a phone call on my phone come through from a private number. Now, the backstory to this, I wouldn't usually be concerned about a private number, but they rang at like 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, and I answered, and it was this man on the other end of the phone. And my first instinct was, holy shit, he's found me. This is my ex, who was abusive and an alcoholic and a drug addict and, a whole lot of other stuff. It was great times. And I was like, oh shit, he's found me. How the fuck did that even happen? I hung up. Actually, to this day, I still don't know who it was, but they called back the next day again. And I got so worried. And this is in March 2013. And the year before, I'd had to make some decisions around whether or not I would actually put myself out there, because there was this fear about him finding me, finding my family, and this, that, and the other. So this call came through, and the initial thing was just like it wasn't even in my heart. It was just like an instant stress response. I thought, holy shit. So one of the things that I did that week, in order to, actually it was a Tuesday morning. So we spent Monday doing what we're doing. Tuesday morning, this call came through. I was having a freaking meltdown, and I wrote a blog. And the blog was The Secrets I Wanted No One to Know. And in it, I talked about the stuff, like my ex. There was some other history that was in there, some other things that I was like, if people find out about this, I'm going to feel a real massive sense of shame. I'm going to think that they're going to judge me. They're never going to buy from me if they know these, they know that this is what was part of my history. And it wasn't just the DV stuff. It was like a whole bunch of other things in there that had created this real sense of shame within me. And it's like, crap, if anybody finds out about this, I'm royally screwed. I'm not going to have a business. No one's ever going to buy, yada, yada. So I wrote about it. And I remember pressing enter on that blog, and I posted it on social media. This is in March 2013. And I was wanting to vomit. I was freaking out. I felt awful. I called my husband and I said, look, I've written this blog. You just need to be aware. I told my parents, look, I've written this blog. You just need to be aware. But what it unleashed for me was this. It's like, okay, well, I wrote about everything at that point in time that I felt like I needed to hide in order to stay safe. Now, I'm not suggesting for a second that you go in and air all of your deepest, darkest secrets onto the internet. However, it's really cathartic, and if you write them all out, then it gives you permission to go, okay, well, you know what? If somebody says to me now, well, you know what? I know this about you, Nicola, from when you were, 19, 20 or whatever, it'd be like, yeah, so what? It doesn't even matter. Or I found this out about you or whatever. There is nothing that anybody can possibly come back to me with now and say, I know that about you and you're a shit of a human being. Or you shouldn't have done that. Or, I've got one over you or whatever. So if we can examine some of the things or some of the reasons or some of the things that we're scared about, and often it's this fear of what other people are going to see, what they're going to say, how they're going to react, how they're going to interpret what it is that we're going to say. At the end of the day, does it really matter? Does it really matter that anybody finds out about this stuff? But I think it's important first and foremost for you to kind of get it out, uncover any limiting beliefs, old programming, old conditioned responses that just keep going around and around, or stuff that you talk about in your head as to reasons why you can't do something, why you can't communicate in a relationship, why you can't make more money, why you can't be visible, why you can't do what you do. I literally live in the middle of nowhere. And I've been able to build a business where I've done multi-millions of dollars in sales, coached hundreds of people over the years, worked with thousands of people on the internet, talking to tens of thousands of people on a daily basis through the different channels that I choose to be able to access, making the kind of life that I want, working only with clients that I love. And, if I can do that from here, you can do it from anywhere. You don't need experience. You just need a phone, and you've got to get out of your own damn way. So that's my little rant for today. I trust that that's helpful. If you've got questions about this, let me know. This is obviously stuff that we're going to be working through in the Queen Code that starts next week. But most importantly, the work starts with you. Business, in the way that we do business, in coaching, mentoring, training, that type of thing, any level of personal development, kind of professional development, life coaching, whatever, everything starts and actually ends with you, right? Starts and ends with you. So you've got to do the work on you first, or whilst you're wanting to work with other people, because, the world needs you. The world, your clients, your audience, your relationships, the money that's out there waiting to come, all of it is just sitting out there waiting for you to get out there and go help some people and do some epic stuff. And that's why we want to be visible. Thank you, Blake. I really appreciate that. Thanks, Tamara. All right, so let's get out there. Get rid of all of the crap. Get out there. Make it happen, guys. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.